Hola mis amigos, es 5 de mayo de 2025 y soy su anfitrión Radical Russ Belvel, su refugiado del Estado Rojo. Y bienvenidos al programa Radical Russ, que llega a ustedes desde Rolla High Studios en mi escondite de montaña no revelado en la hermosa región del estado de Jefferson en el sur de Oregon. Welcome to the program, and forgive my terrible Spanish. Happy Cinco de Mayo out there to everyone, and apologies for missing the last few podcasts, but folks, I've been going through a little bit of a podcasting crisis. I'm trying to figure out what the hell am I doing here? And, you know, I had recorded a daily podcast for years and years and years and thought I would get back on the horse and do it daily, and it turned out to be a whole lot more work than I remembered it. Putting out a 1-hour podcast is taking me anywhere for 3 to 4 hours a day, and I'm poor. I don't have that kind of time. I got to get out and make some money. So the podcasting isn't going to be happening as often as daily, maybe not even as often as weekly, because I've also made another decision, and that is you don't need me talking about politics. There's a whole lot of smart people out there to listen to, all sorts of great podcasts where you can hear everything that I'm telling you and more. Occasionally, if I get the hankering to do a rant on something, I'll put it together, but I'm going to take a little more time on it and write it out, make it a little more scripted. It's just getting to be too much stress to try to ad-lib so much stuff, especially so early in the morning that I have to get up to do this thing, so I'm just not going to do it anymore. But I am going to continue podcasting, and I figure what I will do is give you a look into my mind. What can I do? What can I podcast that nobody else can podcast out there? Me. I've got a weird brain, and I interpret the world strangely, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's horrific, sometimes it's insightful, and maybe you'll enjoy it. It'll be a change of pace, something different in your feed. I'll continue looking at my Boycott Idaho segment. I'll give you the latest news on what's going on in Idaho. If something pops up here in Oregon that I find noteworthy, I'll let you know about that as well. But if you're listening now, you're already subscribed, and just check in from time to time. You'll see something new has appeared. And for today, that something new is going to be the first edition of Russ's Bible Study. Gather ye and pay heed, for it is time for another installment of Russ's Bible Study. As a lifelong atheist raised in a Christian culture, I find there are many inspired philosophies and words of wisdom for the peaceful coexistence of all humankind to be found within the pages of the Bible. Then there are stories like this passage from the book of Numbers, chapter 22, verses 21 through 39, that are just batshit hilarious. Today, I bring you the tale of Balaam's talking donkey in the Old Testament from the Russ's colloquial version, except for the quotations that are straight from the New King James Version. So, this guy Balaam gets on his donkey to ride to an appointment in Moab. But God was pissed and didn't want Balaam to go, so God sent an angel to stop Balaam and his 2 slaves. The angel shows up in the middle of the road and draws a sword. So the donkey freaks out and turns into the field. Not Balaam or the 2 slaves, though, just the donkey. Apparently, God has sent an invisible sword-wielding angel that only donkeys can see. Because if you're pissed at Balaam and don't want him to go to Moab, why contact him directly or even indirectly through an intermediary fencing angel, when instead you can rely on Balaam's donkey behavioral psych evaluations, which, by the way, are terrible, because Balaam just beats the donkey until it gets back on the road. Undeterred, the swashbuckling angel appears again, but this time on the path through the vineyards with walls on both sides. See, this way the donkey can't go around the angel. That will convince Balaam that God is pissed. No need to make the angel appear visible to humans or speak directly to Balaam. Hey, Balaam, God here, don't go to Moab. No, Balaam will surely understand that his donkey has stopped because it sees the invisible angel of Zorro on the path. Well, the donkey sees the Highlander angel again, and this time presses up against the wall to avoid it, crushing Balaam's foot against the wall, and Balaam beats the holy hell out of the donkey again. Figuring the third time is the charm, I guess, the sword angel finds a spot where there's nowhere else for the donkey to turn. Donkey sees the sword angel and just lays down. So of course there's Balaam beating the ever-loving shit out of that poor donkey. That's when God finally speaks directly to Balaam by making the donkey talk. The donkey asks, quote, "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" End quote. You know, besides going into a field, crushing you against a wall, and just laying down for no apparent reason. That's when Balaam freaks out and turns to his slaves, screaming, "Holy shit, did you guys just hear a donkey talk? Tell me you heard the motherfucking donkey talk." No, I'm kidding. Balaam just answers the donkey. Quote, "Because you have mocked me, I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you." End quote. Well, the donkey can't believe this bullshit. Donkey, who not only speaks but understands human language, replies, quote, "Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours? To this day? Was I ever disposed to do this to you?" End quote. And Balaam says, quote, "No." End quote. That's when God made the angel with the broadsword visible to Balaam, who immediately bows down. I mean, donkeys speaking perfect human language is one thing, but an angel with a broadsword will cut your ass. And donkey's got to be thinking, yo, maybe you could have just opened with a sword-wielding angel sans cloaking device and saved me 3 beatings? Then Angel D'Artagnan says to Balaam, quote, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is perverse before me." End quote. And Balaam's got to be thinking, dude, the goddamn donkey was just turning into fields, crushing me against walls, and laying down on the road for no good reason. Maybe you can tell your boss not to be so fucking subtle. The samurai seraphim continues, telling Balaam, quote, "The donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, surely I would also have killed you by now and let her live." End quote. Because that's your biblical due process at its finest. We send Gabriel down with a scimitar to scare your pack animals, and if you ignore that 3 times, death penalty. So Balaam replies, quote, "I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me." End quote. I mean, you were invisible, but that's on me for not correctly interpreting obviously sword angel influenced donkey decisions. Quote, "Now therefore, if it displeases you, I will turn back." End quote. That's when the sword angel says to Balaam, quote, "Go with the men, but only the word that I speak to you, that you shall speak." End quote. Basically, God was pissed that you were going to go off script with this guy Balak in Moab, so he sent me to freak out your donkey 3 times in order to stop you from going. But he still really wants you to go. Just stick to what I tell you to say. Balak hears that Balaam's on his way, so he scoots out to meet Balaam in Moab. When Balaam gets to Moab, Balak says, quote, "Did I not earnestly send to you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you?" End quote. "Did you get me my cheese whiz boy?" No, wait, wrong scripture. That last part's from the Blues Brothers. And Balaam says to Balak, quote, "Look, I have come to you," quote, "Sorry I'm late," quote, "Now have I any power at all to say anything?" End quote. "My damn donkey kept turning and stopping, and I kept beating it to get it to move, but wouldn't you know it, there was actually an invisible sword angel trying to tell me that," quote, "the word that God puts in my mouth, that I must speak." End quote. Okay, says Balak, and they both went to Kirjath Huzoth, which I assume is an upscale gentleman's club. That concludes Russ's Bible study for the evening.
And it goes down smooth. Hey!
Yeah, really, that's it. That's all of the show. I told you I'm going to be keeping it short from now on. These are just going to be little morsels, little tidbits, little hors d'oeuvres in your podcasting diet. I hope you enjoy. The Radical Russ Show is produced, directed, researched, written, recited, posted, and catered by me, Radical Russ Belville, and governed by Creative Commons Share-alike licensing. My main theme is We Love the Herb by Herbal Nation, and interstitial music is by freestockmusic.com and by VTEMO, courtesy of freetouse.com/music. News clips and social media posts are reproduced under fair use copyright laws for commentary and analysis. And for your post-credits screen, check out my blog at radicalruss.com, because I'm going to be writing these things up now and reading them directly. So if you want to refer to anything I've said, you can go straight to my website, radicalruss.com, where this post is up there for the Balaam's talking donkey. And check out the AI art that got generated for it. Oh my God. I don't know why, but the angel has a sword that's bigger than she is, and she's an elf. I don't know how the computers made her an elf, but there you go. You can contact me by email at radicalruss@gmail.com. Call my message line at 877-RUSS-420. That's 877-877-420. And reach me on social media on Blue Sky as radicalruss.com and nowhere else. You can support this podcast financially by donating to @RadicalRuss on Venmo, RadRuss on Cash App, or via PayPal on my website at radicalruss.com. Get this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, my website, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and until next time, take care of each other.
You plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you